Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm Joy, that is Steve. This is the NFL Predictions Versus for the Conference Championships of the 2023 NFL season.
Yeah, here we go. We're in the home stretch now, heading closer and closer to the Super Bowl.
Yep, we are one game away. Well, technically 2 games away, but yeah, this is the final week of multi-game competition. So it's getting really, really close, and I have one opportunity, and only one opportunity, to take first place. So
yeah,
it's
outside chance.
Yeah, very, very slim chance, but there's still a chance. So let's get started with the current standings after the divisional rounds. John had a perfect week, and he is now 184.98. I lost a game, and so now I am 2 back at 182.100. I have passed 100 losses on the year, and I don't really know how to feel about it. Steve here is 1 game behind me at 181.101. Papa Agron is 2 behind him with 179.103. And then we've got Troll at 152.130. SDS at 151.131. Buff at 149.133. And Dino, who finally decided to go with the Ravens last week, is now at 13.8.
Yay, Dino.
Yeah, good for him. So, the Ravens game will also be his bird pick of the week as well, per the usual. So he might very well actually have a game every single week of competition, which is kind of crazy to think.
Sure.
But we'll see how it all goes. So, where would you like to start on our divisional recap?
Yeah, let's start with the game of the week. My pick is obviously the Chiefs and the Bills. There, that ending there kind of brings up memories of Scott Norwood there back in the Super Bowl days.
The quiet man of this football team, Scott Norwood.
Snap, spot, in the air. It's got the distance. It is no good.
The game on the line, he will. 44 yards, Bass. No, he doesn't make it. Wide right.
I'm with you. We're the same, you and me. We're the same, don't you see?
Yeah. That was definitely a really, really good game. I will see that. I think I'm going to probably go with either the Lions or the Niners for my game of the week. I don't have the scores in front of me right now because I was dumb and I didn't write literally anything down like I was supposed to.
Yeah.
But the Lions came out firing in their game, and Tampa made a game of it. After a little while, it was neck and neck. 7-7, 3-3, 10-10, and then the wheels fell off. So that was really fun to see in the second half, and they had a great season. But I think I'm going to give Detroit my game of the week for the divisional rounds. And I am actually going to take the Chiefs as my regret. Steve here doesn't have any because he didn't lose any games. But I did. And my regret was not trusting my Super Bowl pick. Because I said that the Chiefs were going to go to the big game this year. But I honestly thought that Buffalo had a little bit more in the tank. But, you had a really big drop by Stephon Diggs. It was like a 60-yard bomb, and he dropped it, and that would have given them the go-ahead score. And then, of course, we had the wide right meme of all memes here. So, yeah, that was definitely a regret for me. Which one was surprising to you? Like, not exactly the outcome, but, like, which game shocked you the most?
I would have to say the score between the Packers and the Niners there. I should have went with my specialty there with that game.
Yeah. Now I think your specialty worked out really well for the Chiefs and Bills game, but I will
Yeah.
say that was kind of my shock as well. Not the fact that the Niners won, but the fact that it wasn't a blowout. Like they let Green Bay in the game a lot,
Sure.
and the fact that it came down to Jordan Love throwing a pick,
Mm-hmm.
it made me happy, but also I was very surprised.
Yeah.
So that was a very fast recap because only 4 games, not a whole lot happened. Pretty much everything happened the way that we expected it to. So, if you are ready,
I am ready to go.
alright, we got 2 games left. We have first up the AFC Championship game with the Ravens hosting my pick, the Chiefs.
Yeah, and my pick too. They're obviously there.
Yep. Yeah, this is huge for you and I.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game here because you never know what I heard the weather might be real bad in Baltimore on Sunday afternoon there.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's going to be like a northeast kind of vibe, so it could very well be a little bit sketchy, but it's not like Kansas City isn't used to that because they beat the Dolphins when it was like -13. So
True. Yeah. And then they beat the Bills in the cold of Buffalo there, so they're used to playing in cold weather games there. Question is, can Lamar Jackson play in the cold games there?
that actually is a pretty good question because I know that given that he's from Baltimore, he should be used to it, but the past few years, hasn't he been injured towards the end of the seasons?
True.
So, like, I don't remember him actually playing, like, deep into December all that often. So that's a very good question. However, I do think it's going to be a lot of run game in this from Mr. Jackson. And so I'm really hopeful that the Chiefs can learn how to contain him a little bit, because their defense is the only thing that's been keeping them alive in, like, every single game. Because, like, Patrick Mahomes can only do so much by himself. So, I think that their defense is strong enough to do it, but that is a very good question on if they can contain Lamar Jackson. Do you think that their offense has enough within them to capitalize on that against a baller defense like Baltimore?
True. They'll have to rely on their receiving core, especially Travis Kelce there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're going to need him to step up. Unfortunately, I don't think that Baltimore is going to be foolish enough to leave him uncovered like Buffalo was.
True. But for me, this one, I'm going to go with my specialty on this game there. This is going to be another 3-point or less game, and I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs on the road to upset the Baltimore Ravens.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, you're very loyal, and you know what? I respect it. I took the Ravens, and here's why. If the Chiefs win, I basically beat John for first.
Okay.
So either way, I need the Chiefs. So I may as well use my usual anti-jinx strategy and just take the team that I don't need to win in Baltimore, and then maybe the Chiefs can pull out some kind of magic there. But I also really think that Baltimore just has all of the advantages this year. I think that they are the strongest team in the AFC, especially now that Buffalo fell. They are the strongest, most well-rounded, dangerous team in the AFC.
True. But we shall see which team is the better one there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Weirdly enough, we have a split.
That's what we think. It's I think it's time to hear from our resident bird now.
Yeah. Yes, it is. let me get rid of our teams real quick here and take it away, bud.
All right, we have the Ravens and the Chiefs. What say you? Oh. Well, that was fast. And you know what? I hope you're right. Because if you're right, then I win the verses. Thank you for disagreeing with me, buddy.
Alright, so I was incredibly surprised, as you might have been able to hear from the video, but he very quickly and swiftly went with the Chiefs as well.
Whoa!
So he's back on the anti-Ravens bandwagon. Last week was an exception to the rule, and he's trusting in the Chiefs. So we shall see if he's right, and if he's right, then I'm happy. But we shall see how it goes. Alright, so now it's time for the final game. We have the NFC Championship game with the Lions. Yes, you heard that right. The Lions are in an NFC Championship game, and they will be facing San Francisco.
Yeah. How many people predicted that at the start of the season there?
Nobody. Ain't nobody.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Nope.
But for this game there, whose injury might hurt him the worst? For the Lions, it's Sam Laporta, and for the Niners, it's Deebo Samuel. Which team would be hampered by their injury?
I think both, honestly, are going to be kind of taken down a peg or two from a talent perspective with those losses. However, the 49ers have other weapons that they can rely on, of course, and then, of course, so does the Lions. And the Lions also signed Zach Ertz. So they were prepared for the eventuality of Sam Laporta not being able to play. My concern is Frank Ragnow, because Frank Ragnow is dealing with 4 injuries, and he's still expected to play because he's a boss, and he's gritty, and that's just what he does. He's not going to miss out on this.
Yeah.
So I would be concerned for him during the game, because being the center of your line, you're going to be taking a lot of punishment throughout that entire game. So I would be concerned about that, and we need to watch him throughout the game and make sure that he's good to go.
Yeah.
But this game, not only from those 2 key injuries, is going to be very, very interesting, because, you know, neither team has really faced anybody like each other yet.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very, very much so looking forward to this game for multiple reasons.
Yeah. The question is, can the Niners improve from their big win last week against the Packers there?
Yeah, and that's what's going to be really interesting about it too, because like they haven't had it easy, the Niners, for being so overpowered and like just expected to do well. They haven't exactly had it easy. You know, it took a late interception to beat Green Bay.
Yeah.
And then they lost to the Rams in Week 18 in heartbreaking fashion. They lost to Cleveland during the regular season. So, like, they haven't exactly had an easy season. So I do think that I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions can pull off an upset here. I think that they, you know, why not them is my question. Like, why not?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Now, did I go with Detroit? No, I did not. For the same reason that I didn't go with the Chiefs. I'm choosing to sacrifice my wins so that my jinxing can be used for good. And this way, maybe with my sacrifice, they will win. Because every time I've gone against them in a big game, they've won it. So, that's my strategy. What are you thinking on this one?
I'm thinking their home field strategy in the NFC is what's going to hold up for them, and I'm going to take the Niners there, despite playing without Debo there. They'll find more weapons for Brock Purdy to throw to, or just get Chris McCaffrey to run it all the way there. So my pick is the Niners to beat the Lions.
Yeah, I also agree that I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be a problem. Detroit's kind of struggled against the run a lot, especially when it's a mobile quarterback. But I do know all of the criticisms of Brock Purdy, like not airing it out and throwing short passes, just trying to make a go of it. So they need to be aware of that. But I just think it's going to be a great game. I think this one is going to be the game of the playoffs. Just in my opinion, I think it's going to be the one to watch.
Yeah. Now that we give you our opinion, our picks, it's time to find out how our friends feel heading into this week's conference final.
I already know that I'm kind of in some trouble from a split perspective, so let's get on into this. First up, we have Troll, who took the Ravens and the Niners.
Okay.
No elaborate reasons this time, but you see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Papa Agron, who said, frick it, Lions and Chiefs. We going upset, baby.
Oh, wow.
He's trying to catch up to you, because he's 2 games behind you, so he's doing everything he can to try to catch himself up.
Yeah.
And you know what? I respect it, because these are the exact picks that I was going to do to try to catch up to John. But I couldn't do it. So, you are a bigger man than me. Alright, then we have SDS, who went with the Ravens. The worst result to come out of the divisional rounds in the AFC happened. The Chiefs somehow keep getting away with wins despite their offensive woes, and the Ravens are led by a QB who is literally dead middle in the NFL passing yards and touchdowns, but is called an MVP candidate because he can run for 800 yards. The amount of glazing the announcers are going to do between the league's 2 golden child QBs is going to make me vomit. However, I have to pick one to win, unfortunately. The Ravens have the better defense, and an NFL curse is upon the Chiefs. Nobody has been able to win their next playoff game after beating Josh Allen. The Ravens will take this on the back of their defense, shutting down Mahomes, Mr. Swift, and the hodgepodge of stone-handed receivers they have, while Lamar does enough to keep the game out of reach. This is what they get for ruining my Super Bowl pick. And then he took San Francisco. I will say this right off the bat, I have no ill will towards the Lions for beating Tampa. However, San Francisco is another breed of team in the NFC. Can the Lions win? I believe they can if the defense can make Brock Purdy uncomfortable in the pocket. Where I have no hope when it comes to them is their secondary. Baker Mayfield may have thrown 2 interceptions against them last week, but he mostly had free real estate no matter where or who he threw the ball to. George Kittle and CMC are far better than Cade Otton and Rachaad White as far as talent is concerned, and I think that this is what will help the 49ers win. I hope the Lions prove me wrong and make it to the Super Bowl. It will make most of my family very happy, but I gotta go with the favorite. And then we have John, who took the Ravens, saying, I believe this will be the world reinforcing the ideology that I am proud to say our newcomers, Papa and Troll, have instilled in me. Believe in your gut. I have and use legitimate markers and stats to figure out the ideologies and trends a team will go in. I heavily believed in this team and thought that they had what it took to get here, using stats and trends from previous years. You then wipe it all away because Joe Burrow was the Week 1 starter, simply a name. Could have made this division tougher, yes, but I should have believed in my markers. If we have a regret of the year, then, yeah, this would be it.
Mhm.
And then into the Niners, and he wants Detroit in the bowl as much as the next person for sure, but I am going to believe by not believing. And then we have Buff's picks. So, it has
Yeah.
been an incredible playoff so far. I'm very nervous, but very excited. Any final
True.
words?
Obviously, to everyone, enjoy the conference finals there, and obviously help my friend Joy out by hitting the like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for all the future versus videos we do on here.
Yeah, that does help a little bit. I will admit to that. More so than anything is the comments. I love getting the comments and the engagement and the debate and like the open discourse of everything. Like engagement is so huge. So if y'all want to do that and get yourself involved in the series for next year as well as the big game coming up, that'd be great. And we hope to catch you guys very soon for that. Thank you as always for joining me on this, Steve, and we will catch you guys not next week.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks for the big game.
Thank you all, and see you in a couple weeks, and enjoy the games.